about to head out for the first meal of the day. We're gonna hit up a restaurant, which I've been looking forward to for a long time, called Jean's Flatbread Cafe. It's located in the heart of downtown Boston, right next to the Common, so lots of foot traffic, lots of things going on constantly. And tomorrow, we're gonna be headed out to another place in Waltham, Massachusetts, called Aries, Noodle, and Dumpling. We're just gonna be checking out that neighborhood. I've never been in Waltham before, and I'm really excited just to see what it's like, how it feels, what the vibes are like. This will conclude our part 2 of our Boston Handpulled Noodle tour, and I'm super excited to look over all the carbs and meat and fat and sauce that I've eaten, and I just can't wait to get started. So we're gonna head out, let's go. So I'm right outside across the street from Jean's Chinese Flatbread Cafe. This is a hole-in-the-wall establishment that serves infamous, no, that's a bad thing. Famously, hand-pulled noodles in the neighborhood of downtown Crossing. Cue the B-roll. You can totally walk here from Chinatown. You can walk here from pretty much anywhere downtown Boston. It's a really great lunch place. Lots of reviews mentioning soup hand-pulled noodles, lamb hand-pulled noodles, hot oil hand-pulled noodles, and we're gonna get a few appetizers, and so let's go check it out. So it's pretty cozy in here. It's a little bit hot, but I ordered backtrack. When I was working downtown, this is downtown Crossing, the crossing of all the people downtown in the Boston. Lots of corporate offices, lots of people just busy, walking really fast. It's perfect for a fast food meal, but like 100,000 times better tasting than McDonald's, which is also down the street. So when I worked here, one of my coworkers took me here because he knew that I wasn't shy when it came to eating. A lot of people come here during the week for lunch because it's quick, it's easy. You can take your food and go to the park. There's a Boston Commons in the area that you can just like sit in the grass and eat. Everything comes out fresh. The lady is like biang biang, like pulling the noodles in the back. Everything comes in these plastic containers, which are very cute, very easy to pick up and just go. So you don't have to worry about walking 15 minutes and like losing your lamb, you know? But I ordered 2 main noodle dishes because again, we're here for the noodles. One of them is dry and one of them is very wet. It's a soup. I learned my lesson from the last restaurant that if you have any doubt about the consistency or the freshness of noodles, order it in a soup form. So I'm gonna compare the dried version and the soup version. Also ordered a lamb skewer and lamb sandwich, like a lamb burger, like a flatbread sandwich, which is probably why this is called a flatbread cafe. First, I'm gonna try the lamb skewer. They said it's a large portion size here, but it's actually pretty cute. So we're gonna try everything and finish all the food. That was a fatty piece. Yeah. This is very flavorful. It's still very hot. It's seasoned very well. It's spicy, deceptively flavorful. It doesn't look like there's a ton on there, but it tastes really good. This one is the hot oil noodle. So it's number 4 on the menu. This is like the most famous dish here, topped with bountiful cilantro. Every dish here so far looks like it's bountifully cilantroed. You see the steam that's emanating from this stuff. Like, it is hot still. Once you get going with the oil, you can just see how large and in charge they are. Take it and bring it home. Sour. They're thicker in terms of the consistency than any of the other restaurants I've tried. They're like bun thick. The level of thickness doesn't really change no matter where you are in the noodle. You get more than you think you're getting. You can definitely taste the oil. There's definitely lots of noodles. Completely covered in chili flakes. Dusty chili flakes. It's a nice taste. I know what this tastes like. So when I was little, in addition to not eating any of the rice in my porridge, I didn't eat any of the meat in my dumplings. I would completely de-meat all of my dumplings, leave it out like it was trashy. And then I would eat the wrapper by itself. And then I would dip it and soak it and dunk it and slap it in there, slurp it into my mouth. And it tastes very similar to this because it's just a bunch of dough. I think this is what that tastes like, which is kind of nostalgic. I like it. A lot of people eat this lamb with this noodle. I think this is a fun combination. And did I mention the lamb skewers are only $1.95 here. If you just want to eat lamb, just come and get a pile of sticks and just feel magnificent. So next I ordered a lamb burger. It's already falling out. This tastes like a baozi. It tastes like a fried bun, like a fried crispy bun with lamb in it. The lamb skewer flavor was spicy and red peppery, and this is sweet and savory and complex. Also very approachable lamb flavor. It kind of tastes like a burger. I mean, like in a really good way, not like the Taco Bell way, but like, you know how Taco Bell kind of tastes so preserved? This is like very fresh, meaty, juicy. I think the onion in there does really good service to this burger. Sweetens it quite a bit in a very nice way. It's like those stir fries. That is good. You have to come here for this. So next I ordered a soup version. It's a hot and sour soup with hand-pulled noodles. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You see how much other stuff is in here? So you really need to go digging for some treasures. I'm gonna do as best as I can to grasp the rotund spoon. This is good. My hand is shaking because I'm happy. This broth isn't actually that thick. You can see right through it, but it's packed with that fatty lamb flavor. So one bite of this, one slurp of this. Ready? Dunking it all. You see how dunked this is? It's good. It's nasty. They give you like 10 napkins, so you don't have to worry about it. For granted, I mean, to the credit of logic. I'm really thankful for how well-rounded the flavors are here. The fact that this is hot and sour, there's sweetness to it, good herbaceous cilantro-ness. I would say this is my favorite. This hot and sour soup is pretty bomb. The flavors are off the roof, out of the world, off the charts. One of the reviewers said that this hot and sour soup brings you back to life. I'm pretty sure if I was dead, I wouldn't want to be dead anymore if I saw this. This is so good. It's like a corpse reviver. That's a thing. It helps you wake up, which is really important for lunch because if your job is long and hard, you need something light and happy for the afternoon. Another 5 hours, guys. Overall, a big differentiator of this place is that it's a lunch place. It's like you're not gonna bring all your uncles and your Sally, Aunt Sally. Why did I mention that? Sally. You don't have to bring all your uncles and your grandparents and like your neighbors and stuff. But for you can grab and go, take it back in front of your laptop if you must. Last thing I'll say is that I'm interested in noodles in this video, but you don't have to be. They have dumplings here. So if you like dumplings in your soup, if you like dumplings and soup, you should get that one. You don't even need to get a noodle dish. I'm obsessed with noodles, so I have to get this dish. I'm sweating. I'm sweating like a monkey. But I really like this. So now we're at our second place. This restaurant is called Aries Noodle and Dumpling. It's originally not the place that we were planning to go. We were planning to go to a restaurant in Cambridge for Uyghur cuisine, but there was a large party walk-in right before we stepped in, so we decided to Google this place. I really like this environment. For some reason, it feels like my dad would come with his coworkers here. I I don't know, middle-aged Asian people oriented, which is confirmed because their menu has Chinese and English options. I walked in, the guy started talking to me straight in Chinese. I don't necessarily, you know, not a given. Actually, I have friends who wanted to come here to try their jjajangmian, which is a Beijing style bean paste noodle thing. I probably won't get that today. I don't know immediately what I want to order, which is always really fun. So I'm gonna talk to the guy. I think he's a guy. I just had a really productive conversation. He recommended pretty much every dish on the menu. Every dish has like 2 or 3 meats that you can just have. And now I've got 2 beef dishes and 1 lamb dish. This looks really good. I like the modern aesthetic leaf geometry. So this is one of my top 5 favorite dishes, literally drenched with chili oil. When I even move this around with my chopsticks, I can already smell the oil emanating. I just feel the weight of the oil. Okay, let's try it. This is very promising. That is squishy. That is spongy. One of the tripe pieces itself has so much flavor and spongy, saturated texture. I'm losing my vocabulary. Pillowy, tender and gentle and responsive. Okay, it looks like a maze. Wow. It tastes like the softest, gentlest tofu. It's more addictive, honestly. Is there MSG in here? I love this dish so much. Every time I go to a restaurant, I feel bad about ordering this dish because I always order this dish. So I tried not to order this dish, but he told me that this is like the most popular dish. He kept looking at me like he was really happy and sure about that. You know what I really enjoy? I really enjoy the fact that they have like these round beef slices. It almost kind of reminds me of like an intact pig ear. How round this is so satisfying. I swear to you guys, if you like chili oil flavor, if you like beef flavor, if you like steak, 1 bite of something hot, 1 bite of this, like heaven. And it goes well with everything. I'm just trying to show you here how saucy it is at the bottom. Oh no, I'm so sorry, cow. I'm just trying to evangelize how good you made the world through your sacrifice. Sorry to your ancestors and brought shame upon your family. I'm just gonna eat 1 more bite. It feels like noodles. Well, I think it's fair to start with this one in terms of hot dishes. It's not fully up to the brim, but then again, like this is such a big bowl that it would probably be very dangerous if it was all the way up to the brim. Now the spoons, very pure, saturated beefiness. And if you go in, very thin, Lenzhou style, which is a region of China, pretty thin circumference for the noodle. So try it with the beef. I'm very invested in how many noodles there are in this. This is definitely really mild. This is appropriately compared to pho. I think this is really good to stay with just for a little longer. The slurp factor is still present. I'm such a huge fan of how thinly they slice this beef. It's really addictive texture and really addictive chemistry. The delicateness of this entire experience is very addictive. Like an animal in the wild being attracted to vulnerability. I think they could use actually more stuff. All right, let's do some chemistry. Oh, this is soy sauce. I thought that was vinegar. I'm so curious about what this hot sauce is gonna do to it. It's overwhelmingly red. I'm just gonna drip a few little dots over it. Actually a few. Some people say a few and then dump the whole thing in. Yeah, I think this elevates it. That chili oil really brings out the aroma of the beef on your tongue and in your nose. I'm already sensing the urgency to finish this. It's cooling down more. Big fan. This is a big fan. Big fan. This is topped with a bunch of different herbs. Oh my gosh, it's almost like red how fresh this is. Also, because of the chili pepper, that aroma just started pouring out of it. I'm almost doubting that this is lamb. I'm also really thankful for how flavorful all the spices make the dish, but they don't kill you. It's actually pretty impressive how many peppers are in this dish, but you don't taste fire in your mouth when you eat it. I'm telling you, almost anyone can eat this with the help of pure white rice and not get problems. There's like a dish I grew up with. It's called Noodle, which is water boiled beef stew, boiled spicy beef stew, spicy boiled beef. And the beef was so tender. I loved the stew so much, like I kept tasting the beef in my mouth. And this is like the same texture as that dish. Oh, it's so good with rice. If you're gonna get dry pot here, definitely order at least 1 bowl of rice. If you plan on finishing it, I probably recommend 2 bowls of rice. This bowl is the size of my hand. And this bowl is the size of both of my hands, so 2-to-1 ratio. I feel like this one might be my favorite. Wait, do I wanna say that? I haven't had like a really good hot dry dish. Spicy and satisfying, but not overwhelming and killing you. If you have a decent rice, you don't need like long grain, jasmine, organic, whatever, basmati rice that smells like your garden. You just need like non
I'll let you just restart that part.
Oh, you just need non-soggy rice. That's what people do. They knew that rice was good with everything, and then they kept making it and planting it in gardens across the world. And now everyone eats it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm learning something very important from today's video, which is don't film videos when you're sleep deprived. So I think this might be my favorite dish in terms of flavor. All the ingredients that are bringing out the natural oils of the meat. Not super fatty, but it's also not super non-fatty. So I'm sorry for the hand-pulled noodle focus that I'm trying to achieve with this video, but I do think this dry pot lamb is my favorite hot dish, and this cold beef tripe chili oil thing is my favorite cold dish. These are saturated with flavor. That one is comforting if you're like sick. The soup would be circumstantial. I think I would crave it a lot less. These would be my go-to personally. All the restaurants I've tried, like in any of my videos, so far it's like 1 of 2 restaurants are like, I definitely want to come back. And this place is on the winning 50%. This is a next time restaurant. I think I'm like full now. So I just finished going to all 4 hand noodle. I'm so crazy. Hand-pulled noodle places after the 2-part series that I just filmed, starting with Chili Square MDM Noodles, and then Jean's Flatbread Cafe, and now Aries Noodle and Dumpling. Just for the record, I am so happy that I filmed at Aries. The waiter was my favorite human being that I've talked to in the past like 2 weeks. He gave us the meal for free. He very courteously recommended the top several dishes, but he was very unabashed when he talked about his personal favorites. You can tell he is so passionate about the work that he does. He was talking about how this restaurant is He was talking about how this restaurant doesn't make their dishes too salty or too spicy because a big part of their demographic is families and children. So they want to make sure that the palate is approachable for all sorts of people. And just the way that he was able to explain that and just how genuine he was covering for our bill when I'm just sporadically vlogging and clearly don't have money from this was so thoughtful, and you could tell that he really appreciated our appreciation of the food. We're just not used to people being that nice and tangibly expressing it. I'm just subjectively super emotional about that. It's a love language, right? That's why people are in this business. That's why we're like spending weekends. risking audio interruptions by fast cars because people here are crazy drivers. So just for someone to acknowledge that and appreciate that and also affirm that is unexpected and so nice. These two places, subjective favorite right now is definitely Aries Noodle and Dumpling. Jeans was really, really great for that hot and sour flavor profile. If you like that kind of wide, thick, al dente pappardelle sort of texture, they're like #1 for that. My husband's sister came to town yesterday and we took her over to that place and she and her boyfriend enjoyed it a ton. And Jeans is a really great lunch place if you're working the area and don't want to, bow down to the likes of McDonald's or Taco Bell. But this place, this is the I want to come back here and I already know the 3 dishes I want to try here kind of place. My favorite of these two, Aries Noodles and Dumplings, hands down. All the 4 places, I'm in love with the OG Chili Square. That was when I was starving and desperate and really needy. And it met me in that need. And this place is like the honeymoon phase, romantic, new discovery that I stumbled upon on Google. Every dish we've tried so far at every restaurant, none of them have been like, oh man, I really wish I didn't spend that money, because everything has been unique in its own way. I don't think there's any bad dish that I've tried at any of these restaurants. So one last thing before I end the video, starting next month, I'm gonna be filming at a different set of restaurants every month. This series is gonna be called Best of Boston, different restaurants that have been named some of Boston's must-try restaurants by chefs and foodies that have really acknowledged what Boston truly has to offer. Last Friday of every month, I'm going to be posting a new video. So until next time, thanks and bye.